With Donald Trump set to return to the White House in just a few months and him once again in charge of everything pretty much, including the nuclear arsenal, let alone the world's finest military ever constructed, a lot of people are worried about their personal safety once he becomes president. And I understand those concerns, particularly for a lot of groups that he has targeted relentlessly over the past few years. That said, the Pentagon is currently weighing what do they do if he gives them an order that they really shouldn't follow. If you're getting whiplash, it's because this is the exact sort of headline that was going around after the last time he won. It doesn't appear that anything systemic was put into effect in the intervening years to stop them from doing something fundamentally unconstitutional or evil or anything. But don't worry, they're having a conversation. And so, according to CNN, there's not much the Pentagon can do to preemptively shield the force from a potential abuse of power by a commander in chief. Defense Department lawyers can and do make recommendations to military leaders on the legality of orders, but there is no real legal safeguard that would prevent Trump from deploying American soldiers to police US streets. And look, the president's powers are very broad, especially if he chooses to invoke the Insurrection Act, which he has talked about previously. Remember, he's also talking about, like 1897 laws that will let him just round up people, maybe most of them migrants, some of them US citizens, and deport them to Guatemala or whatever. Technically, their oath as soldiers is not to Trump individually, it's to the Constitution. We will see in practice. But bear in mind, Francesca, he's talked a lot about wanting Hitler-esque generals who will not question him. So I imagine while we're focusing on who's gonna be on the cabinet, we should really be focusing on who's allowed to be a general under him. But let me know what you think.
Yeah, certainly no women, people of color, queer people. That's obviously out the window. No, this is terrifying, and they should be asking themselves this. And once again, just as in the court cases, failed to actually protect us from Donald Trump, even though they should have. And let's say Bolsonaro of Brazil is not able to run for president for 8 years because the laws on their books are like, hey, if you incite an insurrection against against the Brazilian people, you cannot run for office. We actually have part of our Constitution that says that, but who pays attention to the Constitution anymore? I mean, this is the wing of the government that will enact this enemy within line. They will go after protesters. They will go after, people like us. Honestly, if you are found to be posting things or saying things, speaking critically of Donald Trump, maybe there's a knock on your door. But also, I just want to say, a lot of the apparatus of the most big brother apparatus of this country was all supported by the Republican Party and many Democrats over the last 25 years, right? Ever since the war on terror created an entire infrastructure, like the Department of Homeland Security, like the Patriot Act, like the ability to spy on American citizens, like all of these things were set up and then reapproved and continued to be approved by these Congresses. So again, it's like our democracy is actually much more set up, it seems, for autocracy than real accountability. And these are the things that it takes a man like Trump to get us to wake the F up about.
Yeah. Look, this is one of the areas that concerns me most. I mean, literally deploying the military into cities throughout America. It maybe is a thing he can do. We'll see. They are betting, as I said, I'll take it back to what we talked about earlier. They are betting that people want this. I am betting that people do not. I think that people want rent to be affordable. I don't think they want tanks rolling down the streets of Atlanta. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out together, but I don't think that. Some think that they want, millions of people to be deported, as was, I think, brilliantly described in John Oliver's episode a few weeks back on that. Most people have literally no idea how that would actually work. They have no idea that it would cost like a quarter as much as the entire US military's budget. They have no idea the economic damage it would do to their community. They have no idea who they know that would suddenly be deported and the families would be broken up. The utter chaos is not something that I think people actually want. Trump and his cronies seem convinced that it is. We will find out together.